So I'm glad the FedEx truck showed up today. I got a part from my cousin's truck. He's the one that we've been running those Milestar Patagonia MTs on for the longest period of time. He's got 30,000 or more on his set. We've been doing some review videos on those. But we noticed last time we were rotating his tires that the center link the end was worn out on it. So this is the end down on the tie rod end. The joint up there near the pitman arm looked like it was still in pretty good shape. So we're just going to replace this one. That joint on his truck was completely worn out. Well, I mean, it still is right now. We got to get this swapped out as soon as possible. Probably going to do that this weekend because obviously you don't want this one to fail. That's what connects your wheels to your steering wheel. So I got to get this replaced in his truck. You know, the Cummins diesels are so heavy that it seems like they just really stress out those front ends. They wear them out pretty fast. So got this from Rock Auto. Looks like a pretty good quality. This is the Delphi one. They had I think it was a AC Delco brand maybe, that was twice the cost. Don't really understand why. A little bit of hardware in there, but this one was only like 25 or 30 bucks. So it looks like it's pretty good quality. We're going to try it and see. But anyway, that'll be the weekend project. Got to get that done. He said he had the death wobble the other day coming down an off ramp. I guess he had a little bump and steering wheel tried to take off on him. Been there and done that. So we'll get that knocked out this weekend. Hey there, what's going on, guys? Hey, so you know, the other day somebody asked me, because it's been 3 months now, they said, do you miss your Gladiator? And you know, honestly, over the last 3 months, I've tried not to really think about it a lot because, well, it's just not worth really thinking about it. But when they asked me that the other day, it was earlier this week actually, I thought about it a little bit. And you know, I believe the thing about the Jeep, and this is kind of true of the Wrangler and the Gladiator, the thing about the Jeep is just the fun factor. And a big part of that, I think, is the camaraderie and the way that there's so many enthusiasts and the activity on the forums and online and everything. And if you go to an off-road park, there's always tons of other Jeepers there. You know, so I think that's the thing I kind of miss more than the vehicle itself, if that makes any sense. You know, like when I get on the Jeep Gladiator forum, there's always a ton of activity on there every day. You know, and the people that are on there are wanting to know about suspension lifts and wheels and tires and axle ratios and, you know, various parts and, you know, what makes the truck tick. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like the Ram guys, first of all, there's not as much activity on there. It's kind of dead. And the people that are on there, they want to know more about like ride quality, fuel economy. I guess the Ram people kind of look at the truck more as a tool, I guess, more as just an appliance to get a job done, you know. Whereas on the Jeep side of things, it's a little bit more of an enthusiast level. So it's kind of hard to explain, but it's almost like when you have a Jeep, it's almost like you're a part of a family, kind of. You know, and I don't really feel that with the Ram. So as far as the vehicle goes, there's no question that the Ram is the better vehicle. Now, if you're rock crawling or doing some serious off-roading, that's not the case. Obviously, then you want to go with the Jeep. But let's face it, 95% of us are on the road most of the time. And even those of us who do go off-road with our trucks occasionally, most of us are not doing heavy rock crawling and all that stuff. You know, so when it comes to just safety, fuel efficiency, interior space and comfort, the ability to haul things, the ability to tow things, pretty much every category, the Ram is just a much better vehicle. I mean, it is. It's just more practical. It does everything better than the Gladiator. And so as far as the vehicles go, if you just put the two trucks side by side, no, I don't miss the Jeep Gladiator. I don't really miss it at all. It's been 3 months now, and I've not really missed it. But like I said, I think the thing that I do kind of miss is just the fun factor and kind of being a part of that Jeep family. I mean, that really does add a lot to your ownership experience when you've got so many other guys just like you out there to hang out with and talk to and see at the off-road parks and that kind of stuff. So I guess that's sort of the answer, even though it's a murky answer. Kind of a half answer, I guess. So right now, if I could go back to the end of February and do it all over again, would I still let my Gladiator go and get this Ram and bring it home? And the answer is probably so. I can't 100% say so, but it's a very good possibility I would do the same thing all over again. This truck has been getting, mileage in the 20s, although I'm going to talk about that more in another video later. It's not quite what the window sticker advertised, but it's still in the 20s, several miles per gallon more than the Gladiator. It's just so smooth, so powerful. When I hooked my enclosed trailer to this truck and loaded up with my side-by-side and all the gear, you probably saw that video. I mean, it just effortlessly towed it in 8th gear nonetheless, even pulling up hills, whereas the Gladiator got the job done, but you could tell it was screaming a little bit at times, especially going up the hills. So I mean, it's just been a better truck for me, the Ram has, and the family really likes it, I think, and just so much more space. And I'm a kind of a tall, long-legged guy myself, so it's really nice to have that leg room in the driver's seat too, which is obviously severely lacking in the new Jeep platform. So anyhow, there's the answer to that question. One more thing real quick, so I don't want to keep you and keep babbling here, but some people were asking me about how the debacle turned out with custom offsets. So let's see, what is today? Wednesday. So it's been almost a week since I started phone calling them, and I finally got my refund today. So that is finally done and over with now. Over a month total, and 6 days worth of phone calls to get the refund, but I finally got the refund today. So if you're kind of in the same boat that I'm in, where you placed an order with them a long time ago and you still don't have it, just keep trying, guys. Just be courteous, be nice, be polite, but just keep calling and keep trying, and they will eventually get you taken care of. So finally that's done. I've got my order placed with Discount Tire Direct, and should be here at the end of the week. I had to get the wheels that I went with out of California. I decided to go with 20-inch wheels because, well, let me show you. So again, this is going to be one of those situations where the camera doesn't really do it justice, but you can see that with the 20-inch wheel, I don't have a ton of clearance around the brake caliper in the front. There's probably about an inch of clearance there, and if you look at the rears, it's actually kind of the same deal. So I got concerned about that, because an 18-inch wheel, if you just do the simple math in your head, you would think, well, that's going to put it right on the brake caliper. And sure enough, a lot of guys are saying the 18s won't fit around these massive brakes. So the thing about it is that, it was going to be so close with 18s. I ordered 18s originally, and it was just going to be so tight. I hadn't really thought of that. I mean, I guess I sort of thought about it a little bit, but I didn't really. I mean, I assumed it would just work, because 18-inch wheels are the standard wheels on these trucks, right? But I got online and I found a picture of a guy who has this brake package with the 18-inch factory wheels, and it didn't look like that you could slide a playing card between the wheel and the brake caliper. That's how tight the clearance is. The tolerances in there from the factory are just so tight. And so that kind of concerned me, because I mean, if your aftermarket 18-inch wheel is a millimeter or two different on the inside of the wheel, it could easily hit and make contact and rub. I didn't want to take that chance and possibly have to send them back or try to get a refund and all that crap all over again. So as bad as I hated it, I really wanted to go with the smaller wheel so I'd have more tire sidewall, but I ended up sticking with 20-inch wheels, just so I know for sure I don't have any issues with the brakes. So I got some Vision Nemesis 20-inch by 9-inch wheels coming, and I'm gonna wrap those in some 34-inch tires and see if I can squeeze it in here. I have a bad feeling it's not gonna work, but we'll find out later this week and I'll show you. Anyhow, I'm gonna let you guys go because it finally stopped raining. I got some weed trimming and mowing to do, but I'll be back later with another video. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.